Hi everyone, and welcome to the presentation on Problem Finders, seeking improvements to problems in our community.
One important skill for our students in order to become 21st century learners is to have the ability to find problems and solve them in their own way. This project serves to help students find existing problems in their community and help contribute to or create solutions.
Before we get started, this project is being piloted in certain schools as part of FCPS's capstone experience. Other schools may opt to do this project as a cross-curricular PBL between civics and English.
So, what is Problem Solvers? It's a cross-curricular project where students explore the various conflicts in our world and choose which problem they want to improve. In addition to the exploration and ongoing research, students complete 15 hours of service learning and publicly communicate how they, through their service, made a choice to adapt their current thinking or behavior to help positively impact their community. The project incorporates the Portrait of a Graduate attributes of critical and creative thinker and communicator.
The process for this project starts with students questioning an existing problem. They then explore and consider the various solutions and choose which solution to work towards. They create a proposal to outline the steps for completion of hours. Then students will communicate their experience to an authentic audience. And then the last step is for students to reflect on their experience in a reflective essay.
As you implement the project, it is important to start with an introduction to citizenship, along with the definition and importance of service learning. A few suggestions would be viewing the Kid President video, having students generate a list of need-to-knows for teachers or advisors to help guide the inquiry, or the Portrait of a Graduate self-assessments. You also want students to have a guiding question throughout the process. Students can generate their own question based on their specific area of interest that they have researched, or they can use something similar to the following ones posted.
The Explore Consider portion is where students begin to narrow their focus on a specific theme in various organizations in their community. One suggestion to engage students and build community interest would be a service learning fair. Invite organizations into your school and give students the opportunity to meet local charities, nonprofits, and community groups. Additionally, students can continue to narrow their focus through any number of interest inventories. One significant resource through this process is X2Vol, which stands for Time to Volunteer, which is the Fairfax County program for tracking and recording service learning. Through the Family Connection portion of their Blackboard site, students can access the Strength Finder, short video clips on over 200 topics, as well as service opportunities in their area. Many schools already use X2Vol as a means to tracking students' service learning.
A critical part to the project is giving students the opportunity to research their selected area of interest. We recommend a collaboration between the civics and English teachers to promote research skills and expository writing. It is also beneficial if your school librarian can help with the guided inquiry design as part of the research process.
Once you have completed the research portion, students then need to go out and actually complete the hours. As a school, you can determine how many outside hours need to be completed. Fairfax County recommends 15 total hours for 8th grade students. However, the research and reflection portions can be counted towards that total number. Each school should also determine how service hours will be tracked. Some ideas include the X2L program, a paper copy with supervisor signature, Google Classroom, etc. It is also important that students or advisors check in with students throughout the process to ensure they are continuing to work towards completing the service hours. The process log is a helpful way for students to reflect on their learning as they move through the project.
After the completion of all service hours, students should then reflect on their learning through a reflective essay, a final product, or a combination of both. It is important that students think about their service learning, how it has contributed to being a citizen in their community, and how they helped contribute to a larger problem and solution. If you do decide to have your students create a final product, it's very important to give the project options before they start completing their service hours. This will inspire them to document their experiences through photos, videos, or interviews to use in their projects.
Finally, plan to host a share fair, giving students an authentic demonstration opportunity to share their service learning with the greater community. This can be as small as students sharing with a partner, or small group in a classroom, all the way up to a school-wide production with invited guests.
Some tips for implementing a project like this in your school would be, first, to consider your school culture. Think about what your main focus is for the year, teacher buy-in or student buy-in. How likely will it be for your students to complete their service learning? How many hours are appropriate for your students depending on the amount of responsibilities they have outside the school day? Design and create your materials in a place that can be easily shared and accessed for all parties involved. In the past, Google Drive and Google Classroom have been excellent places for both teachers, advisors, and students to access all required information. Next, having a timeline for both teachers and students helps to keep everyone on track, specifically the students in terms of completing the hours in a timely fashion. And finally, be sure to note the successes and improvements needed from year to year. This right here can be a skeleton of the project, but each school will need to make adjustments as needed.
If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us through the emails below. Another great resource in planning your own school's project would be Mallory Joyner, who is the Fairfax County Public Schools Service Learning Resource Teacher. Thanks for listening.